You're watching PEG RI-TV, Rhode Island's public access channel.
Hi folks, welcome to An Hour with Bob. Happy New Year, by the way. It's a little late for me because you probably don't know this, but I had another knee replacement. So I was laid up in December and I was running some reruns. But we're back, and we're back with a vengeance here. Right. Today I got the incomparable Ernie DiGregorio's here today. A basketball phenomenon from North Providence, Rhode Island. And if you're older than 35, you probably remember him. And if you're not, shame on you, because if you know who Stephen Curry is, he was before Stephen Curry. What I mean by that, he was noted for his passing, right?
Dribbling and passing.
Dribbling and passing. Hi, Ernie.
Hi, Bob. Thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure to see you. And I always tell people, if someone did bounce the ball for 10 hours a day for 15 years, they would be pretty good at it. So that was my thing. I passed, I dribbled.
Right.
I loved to play basketball.
Yeah.
It was always a lot of fun.
Oh, your years at Providence College. Well, you brought Providence College to the closest they ever came, right? Didn't you?
Well, we went to the Final Four and we lost.
Yeah.
Marvin Bonds hurt his knee. And when
wait a minute, didn't you also have Dexter Westbrook?
No, that was way before me.
Was that before you?
That was Jimmy Walker's team.
Oh, Jimmy Walker's
in
team.
the 60s.
Okay.
I was 1973 with Marvin Bonds, Kevin Stake.
Oh, okay, yes.
That team. And we went to the Final Four, and we were beating Memphis State by 16 points, and Marvin hurt his leg, and he couldn't play anymore, and so we couldn't get the rebounds.
Right.
We couldn't run, and we get beat. But we would have definitely got into the finals and played UCLA for the second time.
That would have been unbelievable.
Yeah, because we played them earlier at UCLA, so we weren't scared of them, and we were going to go attack them with a vengeance.
And was Wooden still the coach then?
Yep, John Wooden. He was legendary, right?
Yeah,
he was probably
that's what
the greatest college coach in history. But those were the years. So I wrote this book about myself, my teammate Marvin Bonds, and my coach Dave Gavitt. And the title is A Star with a Broken Heart, because when they both passed away, my life will never be the same, because they were my basketball family. So it's about the battles on and off the court we all participated in, and it's been really going great. I partnered with Providence College. The proceeds are going to scholarships for kids in North Providence also Providence.
Cool.
And they have Providence College Bookstore sells the book. So if someone wanted to get the book, all they'd have to do is Google the Providence College Bookstore.
Right.
And they give you the opportunity to have it personalized, where I signed it.
Nice.
And it's been going terrific. We've
Really?
sold a lot of books.
Wow.
Yeah, we sell them at the games. We'll sell them Saturday at the Xavier game. And people love Providence College, and those two guys were very special.
Yeah, and Dave Gavitt,
right, was a genius.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
And
the Big East.
Yeah,
that was his thing.
Most of the book is about Dave and Marvin, and Coach Gavitt always told me, and there's a chapter in the book about this. When he died, he always wanted to be remembered as a coach first. And he always reiterated that to me all the time. And I talk about his coaching, and we talk about Marvin's addiction with drugs.
Right.
We talk about the racism in the 70s. So the book is a book for people who don't follow basketball, because it's a human story about
Sure,
people
exactly.
and friendship and love.
Right, right. Now, how long did Gavitt coach you? The whole 4 years?
3 years.
3 years?
Yeah. Excuse me. He was the varsity coach. Joe Mulaney recruited me.
Oh, right.
And then he got the job to the Los Angeles Lakers. And then Dave came over and took over the varsity. In those days, freshmen couldn't play on the varsity. And so I played 1 year for Bill O'Connor, the assistant coach, and 3 years for Coach Gavitt.
Now, you went to North Providence
North
High
Providence
School.
High School, yeah.
That's big. I mean, that's big.
Well, you know, I had a dream when I was a little kid that I wanted to be a professional player, and my philosophy was very simple. If I played more than anyone else and I improved, there's no reason why I couldn't do it.
Right.
So I had that goal at
Practice.
12. Yeah, I had that goal at 12, and I achieved my goal. I was rookie of the year in the NBA in 1974.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember it well. I remember it well. I'm old enough to remember it well. Let's put it that way.
You're my age.
But that was striking. And that was amazing. First of all, you're not
Tall.
6'5".
No, but what I did was I had a passion and a drive
Right.
that no one could tell me I couldn't do it, and I just practiced and practiced. And I always tell people, you know, it was fun. And when you have fun doing something,
Right.
you'll want to do it again. And I just continually did it because I love to do it.
Now, when you first were there, the first year you played, was Marvin Bonds there? At the
No,
time?
he came my junior year.
Okay.
I played my sophomore year without him, and we got to the NIT. And then my junior year, he came, and he elevated the game tremendously. And
Great defensive player.
Oh, yeah.
And offensive player, but
Yeah.
a great defensive player.
And we were just, he was a special, special friend. In the book, I told how close we became from the first day Coach Gavitt asked me to go pick him up at Central High School. And from that day, we bonded because we both had that same passion and drive and goal, which was to be a professional player.
Right. And both from Rhode Island.
Right. Three of
Right.
us from Rhode Island. Dave Gavitt was
Gavitt
from
too?
Westerly, Rhode Island.
Was he? I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
From
that's what
Wesley?
makes it really unique. Marvin became ABA Rookie of the Year.
Right.
I became NBA Rookie of the Year, and Gavitt became one of the most powerful figures in all of basketball.
Yeah, and basketball history.
Right, right. And so it's a great book. You got to get it. It's going to be a movie.
Really?
Yeah, I'm talking to 2 or 3 movie producers in the next couple of weeks, and eventually it'll be a movie, and it'll start off with me standing there at Coach Gavitt's gravesite and my voice in the background, and it will go
all
on.
in memory and go in retrospect, right?
Yeah, that's why people ask me how I came up with the title, A Star with a Broken Heart, and I would drive to Buffalo like 6 or 7 times a year.
Well, that's where isn't that where you started, right?
Yeah, and I would. I have a lot of friends there, and I do a lot of business there. And while I'm driving, you always try to keep awake. You know, when you're by yourself, you sing to yourself.
The New York Expressway.
Right.
Oh, my,
And
that's a run.
Yeah, I start singing, A Star with a Broken Heart, a star with a... And I said, that's the title of the book.
No kidding.
I call up my daughter, and she says, I love it, Dad. I call up my friend who started TJ Maxx, a dear friend of mine. He says he loved it, and that was it. That was how it came.
Now, wait, but how did you come up with the Star with the Broken Heart?
I just started singing
that. Now, how did you?
I don't know. It just came to my head.
Really? It wasn't a
strange.
song you had?
No, it just came to my head.
Wow.
One thing I had when I played, Bob, I was like very creative. I would look that way and
Right.
throw the ball that way.
Right. Oh, I know that.
And I'd bring the people out of their seats.
Exactly.
That creativity has never left me. I've
Right.
always been creative.
Yep.
And I did it with the book, and I did it with the title, and I'll do it with the movie.
How long did it take you to write the book?
3 years.
Because I started writing the book.
Yeah.
And I sent it out to, I had a ghostwriter help
Yeah,
me, right?
yeah.
I sent it out to California. And they started writing the book. They sent me back 2 chapters.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, see, I did it by myself because
That's what I got to do.
the people who read the book tell me it's like having a cup of coffee with you, Ernie, at the Marriott.
There you go.
So it's me talking
Right.
to the people. It's
Right.
my experiences. It's my happiness. It's my sadness. And it's really a sad book when you think of it, because at the end, we do everything, Coach Gavin and I, to try to help Marvin fight his addiction. But in the end, the addiction wins.
Yeah. He tried. Yeah, he did try. He did
Oh,
try.
he was 12 years straight. He did great for a while, but
I remember him when he where'd he go? Indiana, right? Was it Indiana?
he went to St. Louis.
St. Louis. St.
in
Louis.
the ABA.
St. Louis. Spirit. What are they? Spirits? Was that what they were
Yep,
called?
St. Louis Spirits, yep.
Right. In the American basketball.
Yep, American Basketball League.
And I remember when he came home to Rhode Island.
Yeah.
with his coat on, with his mink coat on.
Oh, he was a character.
And he bought what did he buy? A
Rolls Royce.
right?
He bought a Rolls Royce, a Cadillac.
He bought his family, his sister or something, a caddy, right?
But he bought 3 of them at one time, a Rolls, a Cadillac, and something else. When I went to his apartment, he had a place in St. Louis. He had 16 phones. I said, Mom,
What?
16 phones.
I heard that.
I said, Mom,
What?
what do you need 6? He had his own chef cooking for him and stuff. He used to cook us breakfast. So one thing about Marvin, he did things extravagantly, and he loved, to live. And it's a sad thing when, I think of it, that I don't have him here anymore, because he would have loved to have been part of this, and he would have sit here and he would make you laugh.
Yeah.
Great person and a great basketball player, and a part of my family, and Coach Gavin.
Now, when you got him, when you picked him up from Central High School, right?
Yep.
And you brought him to Providence College?
Yeah. We played pickup games
Right.
in Alumni Hall, and Coach Gavin looked out from the window and watched us. And we beat all the varsity guys, him and I.
Really? Yeah.
And Coach Gavin would give the thumbs up.
Yeah.
And then he'd say to me the next day, because I'd go to his office every day, Ernie, stay close to this guy. He's the guy we need, because when he gets the rebounds and he gets it out to you,
Right.
we can get the fast break going.
Right.
And I said, Coach, he's a great guy, I will. And we stayed close. And right until after I got out of basketball and he was still trying, we still stayed close. And when I was in the pros and he was in college, we stayed close. So it was a bond that can never be broken.
Right, right.
And I tell people all the time, when I walk into the Civic Center or the AMP, which it's called now, I look up at the rafters and I see my jersey retired with Marvin's, and I see Coach Gavitt's name on the court.
Isn't that cool?
And I know, there's something there that'll always be there.
Exactly.
So it's really special, yeah.
Yeah, sure is. Sure is. Who else played on that team?
Nehru King, Fran Costello, and Charlie Crawford.
Okay, yes.
Kevin Stakem. Gavitt only played six players.
Now, Sakem, I know he's in Newport, right?
Yeah, he moved.
Is he from Newport?
No, he was from New York City, and he moved to Newport, had a couple of restaurants in Newport,
Right.
and eventually,
Right next to the ball field. He had a
yeah,
restaurant.
Mudville Pub, but he eventually sold those, and now he's living in Kingston, Rhode Island with his wife. So he's doing great.
Yeah, I've run into him every once in a while.
He's a lobbyist. He's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. And he was a big part of our team because, I could dribble, I could pass.
He was a shooter, wasn't
And
he?
he was the shooter we need, that extra
Right,
piece.
right.
Marvin gets it, throws it to me, I throw it up to him, and it was
Yeah.
like poetry in motion.
Yeah. And what about King?
He's living here, and he goes to Florida a lot. He was a big part of the team because he could run. And we always used to run. The thing I tell people
Fast
about...
break, yeah.
fast break, like the old Celtics with Cousy
Exactly,
and
exactly.
And Heinz.
Havlicek.
Yeah, now that Havlicek was my buddy. My last year I played with the Celtics with
I
Havlicek.
liked him, yeah.
He was the best.
He was the best.
What a gentleman. What a class act. Yeah, so Coach Gavin would let us run, and if we didn't have the break, then we just freelance. He never called plays. And people say, come on, I don't believe that. Well, he had me and Marvin who knew how to play, so he never put us in a box. He always would
Let you
say,
run.
Yeah, let us use our creativity and imagination.
Really, yeah?
People say to me all the time, when they see that long behind the back pass,
Right.
I threw in against Memphis in the Final Four. How'd you do that? I tell them right away. Every day in practice, Coach Gavitt would let me be Ernie D. I would throw behind the back passes all the time.
Yeah.
So it was just part of my game. It wasn't showing off.
Well, that was your
yeah, if
claim
you were
to
there,
fame.
I'd just go like this and flip it to you rather
Yeah.
than go like this.
Right. That was your claim to fame, that's for sure.
Now my claim to fame is this book. You read this book, and I guarantee you're going to be blown away.
It says, the untold story of Dave Gavitt, Marvin Bonds, and Ernie DiGregorio, their battles on and off the court.
That's right. On and off the court.
Now, who come up with that? You?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You like it?
I do.
Yeah. I like the title because when I was writing the book, I would use Apple, on the computer because it's so much easier to do it, shorthand. I talk into the computer and write it.
Oh, that's what I got to do.
Yeah, you can't write. Forget that.
No.
And then the lady at the end of the other line would say to me, I would buy the book just for the title. So I got a
Really?
big kick out of it. And she didn't even know anything about it.
Now, when you talk into the computer,
Yeah.
a lot of times doesn't it give the wrong words.
Nah, you can go back and check it, but it's so much easier when you have thoughts.
Right.
You're
You're telling the story.
Right, and then you could get pages and pages done in 20 minutes, where if you're writing, you're lucky if you write one page in 20
Right.
minutes.
And then when you write, then you got to check it.
Yeah, it's the only way to
and
do it.
fix it and edit it. And,
Creativity, Bob. Remember what Einstein said.
What did Einstein say?
Einstein says an imagination is the most important thing you could ever have in life.
Really?
Yeah, you got to be creative.
Well, I do have an imagination.
Oh,
People
I
tell you
know.
that.
An hour with Bob. How many years you been doing it?
32.
Well, you definitely.
If I survive it, 32 would be May 29th. Would be
Oh, you'll survive.
32nd, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to go now. This is the best show yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
I'm looking forward to watching it myself.
Well, this is going to be not only on cable,
Yeah.
on Cox 13 and Verizon 32, but it's
Yeah.
also on YouTube.
Oh, wow. I can't wait. I tell everybody I'm coming on an hour with Bob. They said, yeah, they all know.
Really?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool over the years.
You've done a great job. I remember when you and your son used to do the trips. That was
Yeah.
great,
Oh,
too.
yeah. Yeah.
I loved it.
Now how old Zachary is today?
Let me guess. 30. My oldest daughter's going to be 50.
No way.
I'll be 73 in 5 days.
Wow.
That's how quick that went, right?
Yeah, no kidding. I know, no kidding. Now, back in the day, you gotta tell me. I can't remember.
Yep.
Did they dunk back in your day?
In the beginning, they
When did
took the
dunking
dunk
stop?
out when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Lou Alcindor came out of high school and went to
Yep.
UCLA. They took the dunk out,
Yep.
and you couldn't dunk when I played because Marvin could dunk, and I never remembered anyone dunking those 4 years. They eventually brought it back.
Yeah.
But no, there was no dunking.
What do you think of dunking?
I think it's part of the game.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
I-
I don't like the three-point shot because I think the three-point shot makes everybody just pass it around the outside
Right.
and shoot three-pointers.
Right.
Where you take away the fast break because the fast break means
You're going to the basket.
you're going to the basket and you're trying to find the best shot.
Right.
So when I played for Coach Gavitt, he would say, we don't want to take that long shot. We can get that shot anytime. We want to get the best shot.
Right.
Right?
Higher percentage.
Exactly. And that means move the ball. And if that means I'm throwing it to Havlicek and he's 10 feet out, that's the perfect shot. Now the analytics say that's not the right way. And they got these coaches just shooting three-pointers all
Well,
over the
that's
place.
Curry started that, I think. Guys like him.
But everybody can't shoot like Curry.
Right. I saw a guy on the YouTube just today, actually. He set the world record for consecutive
Free throws?
free throws. Yeah.
How many? I made 146 once.
Well, this
In
is
a row.
like 500 and something.
Damn, I got to practice some
You
more.
know what he did? He set up under the basket. He set up a rail system.
Yeah, and kept
out
coming
of
down.
metal, so the ball kept.
Yeah.
He had a whole bunch of balls. He
Yeah.
kept returning. He just kept like this, and he
Yeah.
did over 537.
Yeah, well, I'll bet you if we put 10 grand down on the table, he don't make that. We'll bet him.
Really?
Because there was a guy was billed as the greatest free throw shooter around, made hundreds and hundreds like that.
Right.
He was at Scarborough Beach one day. So, of course, I had to challenge him. And I made 9 out of 10,
Yep.
right? Guess what he made?
7.
9 out of 10.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah.
tied him.
Really?
So he missed. So I'm saying if you say somebody can shoot 500, I want to see it with my eyes.
Yeah.
With pressure on you.
Right.
You got to make them under
No, I
pressure.
agree with that because I was a pretty good pool player, but
Pressure.
when it comes to pressure money, when I played for
Right.
money, I was a better pool player.
Wow.
Where a friend of mine who was a great pool player could beat me 7 out of 10 times. His name was Sammy.
Yeah.
But when we played for money,
Yeah. He got nervous.
yeah, he
It's
could.
like that in everything. Some
couldn't
people just
handle
get nervous and they start thinking. I always tell kids that I teach, when you're shooting,
Don't
you
think.
can't think.
No.
It's all mechanics and rhythm.
Right, right.
It's a feel. Like, I did a basketball camp for Jim Calhoun at UConn when he was coaching, and I told the kids, I'll make 18 out of 20 with my eyes closed. They said, no way.
Really?
I made it.
Really?
Because it's the same feel every time,
Yep.
the same legs.
Yep.
But I used to shoot 100 foul shots a day every day and keep track.
Well, that's the thing.
So I knew I was going to make it because
Right, right.
I shoot thousands and thousands of
That's
shots. But,
Practice, practice, practice.
makes perfect.
Well, who was the greatest foul shooter? Larry Bird?
Rick Barry was good.
Oh, yeah.
He does the underhand.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah.
In fact, one year, my rookie year, I beat him. I won 2 years the NBA free throw championship. The first year I shot .902, and we were out on the West Coast, going to play Golden State with Rick Barry, but they were playing a game before. And it was like at the end of the year, he got fouled. Guess what? Miss it, miss it, miss it. I kept yelling, and he missed
And
it.
he missed it.
And I beat him by that much. It's in the book. It's a true story. And then my third year, I shot 146 and made 138, .945. I broke Bill Sharman's record, who he held for 32 years. And in those days...
For free throws.
For free throws, yeah. He shot .932, right?
Like a baseball batting average.
Right. I shot .945. He held the record for 30 years. And when I beat him, he sent me a telegraph. And I'll never forget it. They had no internet and stuff.
Yeah.
I still got the telegraph.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's special. I wouldn't change anything. I got injured, and I tell people all the time.
What kind of injury?
I had a knee cartilage removed.
Oh.
But in the old days, in '73, they never took the cartilage out. I mean, they never left a piece in. In other words, they take the whole cartilage out. So I got bone on bone
Right.
since '73.
Right.
And now I had one done on the other knee in 1996, I think. And they just took the little tear part out.
Right. Now they take a meniscus out, a little piece of it, right?
Yeah, right. And they leave the rest of it in.
Yeah, they call it. I never even heard the term meniscus before the year 2000.
Yeah.
It was always taking the cartilage out, right?
Yeah, yeah. Now this poor kid from PC, Bryce Hopkins,
Oh
tore
my
his
God.
ACL.
Is he out for the season?
He's out for the season. Those are
He's the
ligaments.
team, man. They
Well,
went
he's
down.
a big part.
Oh my God, they
That's
were
a
not
tough one.
good the other night.
No, but
Without him.
they got St. John's tonight. Hopefully they could bounce back in Madison Square Garden against Rick Pitino.
Yeah,
He coaches St. John's. Yeah, you never know.
That's. I saw that game. I was watching that game when he went down.
That was tough. I was there. I couldn't even watch. He was in such pain. But those are parts of the game, injuries, Injuries will set you back. You just have to. I think I heard today from someone from the team that he's going out to Chicago to have it done, the best in the world,
right.
because, they do them all the time. And so he'll be okay. He's a tough kid, muscular.
Yeah.
Very
well, I've
strong.
seen him play. I watched a few games down there. I
powerful.
went with John.
Yeah.
John, I went to the game with him.
Wow.
Now, what do you got in here that's other than that? You got another story for me?
Oh, I got a lot of stories.
Oh, come on, give me a story.
I'll give you a story. Marvin Gaye goes to jail because he tries to take a gun
On the hit, I remember that.
through the airport, through the screening.
He gets
Right.
arrested.
He gets arrested. So he goes
Real
after the
smart.
season.
And it was loaded too, wasn't it?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But he had to go to jail. So he's in the ACI in Providence.
Right.
I get a call. Hey, Ernie, see if you can get Kevin Stakem and come down and play a game. The prisoners want to meet you guys and play. I said, as long as you promise I get out of there alive. He said, yeah, you're cool. No problem. So we get out there. I get Kevin, we go.
You go see Marvin.
Yeah, in jail.
Now,
So,
how long was he in jail?
He might have been 6 months this time. He was in jail like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
You know, in Texas, all over. So we get there. First thing Marvin says, I got Ernie D on my team. You can have Steakum, right? So we play games of 21 hoops, and we're killing them. And Kevin's shooting for the other team, and he's missing. And the prisoners are getting a little upset.
Yep.
So when it was over, Marvin says, let's run it back. We'll play another game. So again, we're beating them, and Kevin's missing. Now the prisoners are mad. And they say, hey, pass the damn ball over. Now, when the game was over, I thought there was going to be a riot.
Really?
Kevin and I ran out of there so fast, faster than we did in the game, because they were mad because he wouldn't pass the ball. But it's a funny story.
Yeah.
That's in the book.
So what did you play, 5-on-5?
Yeah, 5-on-5, full court.
With 3 prisoners?
No, with 10 prisoners.
Oh, yeah, well.
Me and Marvin and 3 other guys.
Right.
And 5 on the other team.
Right, 5 on the other team, yeah. And Kevin Steakum wasn't passing the ball.
He wasn't happy. He says, I just come in here to have some fun, and these guys want to kill me.
Yeah?
Yeah, these prisoners, they weren't playing games.
Wow.
They wanted him to pass, and he kept shooting.
Now, did Bonds go to jail when you were with PC?
No, that was when that tire iron incident came up.
Oh, right, yeah. What was his name?
Convertis.
Convertis,
That's
yeah.
in the book. And he didn't go to jail, but he pleaded guilty, and they put him on probation. Then when he went through the detector at the airport, he broke probation.
Right.
And that's when he went to jail.
Right. And he only got caught with Convertis because he had the jacket, right?
No, he
No,
didn't
that
have a
wasn't
jacket
it?
on. It was in the.
They said that
They say a lot of things. I don't believe anything. They say stuff about you.
all the time.
Yeah, I don't believe it until I talk to you.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, well, don't believe that thing about Marvin because I never seen a jacket.
They said they that's how they caught him, because he had the.
No. He was in the
jacket on.
cafeteria at PC, and that's when the incident happened. You know.
Now, Convertis played with you.
He was on the team.
Right.
Yeah.
He was a big kid, wasn't he?
6'11".
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember those days.
Yeah. Those are days that were special because I remember that in places like the supermarket, Stop and Shop, and those places, they stopped everything when those games were on, and they put them on radio right through the whole stores.
Right.
So the whole state could experience it.
Exactly.
And it was a heck of a ride. We were right there until he hurt his leg. But those are the breaks.
Yeah, yeah. Now, what was the name? What was the team you were playing? Was it
Memphis State.
Memphis
Yeah,
State.
we played them first. We were ahead of them by 16 points.
Oh my God.
We would have killed them. But when he went out, he averaged 20 rebounds a game, Marvin. No, we couldn't rebound. So we couldn't fast break. And then when they shot, they missed. And they got the rebound and put it up, and they missed, and they got the rebound until they finally put it in. Yeah. But you can't lose your horse like that. But one of the things Coach Gavitt says is what made his team special was his 2 best players were the most unselfish players on the team.
Meaning you and
Me and Marvin.
Marvin.
In other words, we weren't worried about scoring points in our own glory and fame.
Well, again, like you said, you were passing the ball to Steakum and,
Right,
and
right.
King and.
And in those days, Bob, there was no ESPN where you had 300 stations and you would always be on TV. There was 1, maybe 2 national networks that you had to win to be
get
able
there.
to get there to get carried.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
they wouldn't carry.
No, they wouldn't carry it. So that was the
only
special
reason
thing.
they carry you is because you were
You
great.
win it. Right, exactly. So we knew we had to sacrifice and we had to win to get on that national stage so we could sign those contracts and get drafted high in the pros.
Yeah.
We had it figured out.
You
In
did.
fact, in practice, Marvin used to run next to me and he used to tap me on the rear end and say, ED, we're running for the BR. We're going for the BR. And I say, BR?
What's that?
The bankroll.
Oh, the.
We're running for the bankroll. He was hilarious. He was hilarious.
You really had a hell of a relationship with him, huh?
I used to come over to my mother's house every Sunday. My mother would make macaroni and meatballs.
Right.
I used to go to his mother's house. She used to cook for me. I used to sit on the couch for hours and talk. They were beautiful, beautiful people.
Where did he live?
He lived in South Providence.
Yeah, I know, but where? What street? You remember?
I think it was Lexus Street or Lenox Street, one of those streets
Right,
up there.
yeah.
But in those days, racism was rampant. You know what I
Yep,
mean?
yep.
And so his friends used to tell him all the time, "What are you hanging with that white guy?
Right,
He's
yeah,
not
yeah.
that good." And my friends would say, "Why are you hanging with that black guy?"
Right.
Right. But they didn't know we were close. You know. In fact, one of the stories in the books is his friends used to always say, "You know, he's just a white hope. He isn't that good, Ernie D." He said, "I'm going to take him up the wreck one day. He's going to kick your behind." And so one day I picked up Marvin, right, in my green Corvette with Ernie D on a license plate that they used to steal for souvenirs, the license plate. And we get there, and the place is packed, and we had the game.
Right.
And I put a show on, and after the game we walked out, and they said, "You're right, Marvin, that boy can play, that white boy can play."
Yeah.
So Marvin says, "You know, I'm taking a lot of grief and a lot of sorrow. The people on me for hanging with you, they don't think you're that good." I said, "Well, watch. When we get up there, we'll show you how good I am."
It's good to have that confidence.
You got to have it. If
Yeah.
you don't have it, you're dead. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I sent some pictures today on Facebook and stuff, and they said, "Oh, you're shy." I said, "I never was shy."
I like the picture you sent me.
Yeah,
today.
yeah.
That was a cool shot of you.
Yeah, it says, "I always knew I could play."
That's got to be on this show. People are going to see
That'd be
this.
great.
They're going to see this. on
That'd
the
be
show.
great.
Now, what else? What else you got? You got to give me another story.
Oh, I gave you that story. Let me see. Can I see the book?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you a story. There's so many stories.
3 years, huh?
Yeah.
Took you to write that 3 years.
Yeah. So right here is a story about, you know, our senior year. We had
What was your record in your senior year?
we were 24-2. We only lost 2 games.
Wow. Who'd you lose to?
We lost to Santa Clara in the Utah Classic, right? One of the teams. And then we lost to UCLA at UCLA. And
Well,
then
that's big, though, UCLA.
And the media-
UCLA wouldn't. What do you win?
they won
11?
73 games in a row.
Yeah, I know. How many national championships did they win? I think it was 11, wasn't it?
11 or 13. So here's a story about right here when I fly to New York with Coach Gavitt, okay? My senior year, after I got done playing, I knew I had to get an agent because I was going to get drafted. So the first thing I would do is go to Coach Gavitt and
Right.
ask him what does he suggest. He said, "Give me a little time." He made up made an appointment with this guy in New York called Larry Fleischer. He said, "We're flying to New York, you and I, next week." I said, "Okay." We went out there. We met with Fleischer. After we got done with the conversation, you know, in the meeting, we go, you know, in a cab and we go to the airport. And he says, "You don't have to look anywhere else. We got the right guy." Okay?
Really?
So I became very close to Larry Fleischer. He graduated Harvard at 19 and started the NBA Players Association, the union. So he was brilliant. He was
Sure.
way ahead of his time.
So you got him that starts the NBA Players Association, and you with Gavin, who started the Big East.
Yeah, they're both geniuses.
Exactly.
And I talk about them
Exactly.
thoroughly in the book. So Marvin's senior year, Coach Gavitt says to Marvin, "Don't even look. We got the
Wait a minute, he was a year behind you,
Yeah,
Marvin?
yeah. I went to Buffalo, and
Yes.
he was at PC. So Coach Gavitt said, "Don't even look. We got the lawyer for you." So Gavitt goes away on a trip, you know, for business for a couple of days. Marvin goes up to Boston, and signs with Bob Wolf.
Oh,
He comes back to school driving not a Mercedes, a Rolls Royce.
yeah.
Yeah, with a bar in the back, all
Yep,
fluffed
yep.
and stuff with gold and stuff, right? And so,
that's the day he had the jacket on.
I don't know, I wasn't here, but Gavin went ballistic. He said, "I can't even go away for a couple of days."
Right.
And you do, "I know, Coach, I know, I'm sorry." But he went for this.
Right.
And nowadays, Bob, you know what they do now? They call it NIL money, name, likeness, and image. They pay athletes. It's legal.
In college, you would have made a ton of money today.
All the stuff that Marvin was doing then, it was legal now, right? And so now they pay guys $4 or $5 million a year. These football players, basketball players. PC is paying their team $1 million in NIL money. They said in the papers, You know?
Wow.
So they're getting paid like pros. They're not really college players, now they're pros.
No, they're minor league, right? Now they're
minor league.
They're
You're right.
minor league baseball players. They're minor league basketball
You're
players
right.
in
You're right.
college, right?
You're 100% right. But so Marvin is a character in this book, and there's so many happy times and there's so many sad points, especially at the end of the book when he really goes off the wagon, and Coach Gavin and I.
After 12 years, huh?
Yeah, he went his whole life. He's been.
He was talking. He was going in front of people and talking.
The Attorney General was hiring him to go in front of schools and stuff like that. So he was doing great. He made a mistake, and he could never recover from that mistake. And that's when they read the book, they'll find out the mistake. They'll be really interested. So in the end, it gets really sad when I lose these two people who were so special and such a part of my life. Even Coach Gavin, right till the end, before he passed away, he used to have the team get together and we'd take us all out to Angelo's up the hill or to a Chinese restaurant, and we'd all get together and eat and drink and laugh, and we had a special
right?
bond.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, was Stakem in your grade?
He was in Marvin's grade.
Oh, both of them were in Marvin's grade.
Yeah.
So who was with you in your senior year?
My senior year, Marvin was a junior, and
Right.
Kevin was a junior.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So
that-
they were
what am
on
I
the team.
saying? Yeah.
My sophomore year, they
year.
weren't there. No.
Yeah.
Kevin transferred. There's a good story in the book from Holy Cross. And the first day he showed up at Gavitt's office, he had a little duffel bag. That's all he had. And Gavitt introduces me to him, and I says, "You want to go play some one-on-one?" So I took him to St. Pius. We played one-on-one for about a couple of hours. Then after, I said, "You want to go out to dinner?" He said, "I'd love to, but I'm a little short on cash." I said, "Don't worry, I got this."
You got this.
So I took him to the Chalet restaurant, right?
Oh yeah, the old chalet.
Yeah. And we eating, drinking, bottles of wine, cigars, right?
Yep.
The bill comes. It's about $1.50. I signed
A $1.50 in the 70s?
Yeah.
That's big money.
Yeah, well, wine wasn't cheap. Ernie DiGregorio, Providence College Athletic Association. Kevin says to me, "Can you do that?" I said, "I just did."
Just did.
Next
That would
day.
have been my answer, by the way.
Yeah, I just did it.
I just did.
I did it for years.
Really?
Yeah. So the next day, the athletic director he calls me and Kevin in the office, Vin Cuddy.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
He's got a stack of bills this high, and he's waiting for us to get in the office. We go in, and Gavitt's there smoking his cigarette, right? And Vin Cuddy says, "Who in the hell do you guys think you are?" Now, Kevin's scared because he thinks he's going to get thrown out of school. He just
He
got
just
into
started
school.
their
Yeah.
first day.
So Kevin says, "Mr. Cuddy, it'll never happen again." I didn't know. So he says to me, "How about you?" I said, "Mr. Cuddy, look at the guy. He's skin and bones. You got to feed him." Gavin says, "Shut up." In other words, Gavin knew that he wanted me to just be quiet and to stop. But I kept signing. That's a true story in the
So
book.
wait a minute, you signed the bill, you didn't pay the bill.
No, they paid the bill to college. I never paid the bills. Hey, we paid the college a lot of money.
Right, yeah.
And, it was only a meal. Nowadays, they give them, the last guy on the team will go sign autographs, and they'll give him $500. The guy is not even on scholarship. The big guys, they'll give them $10,000 if they just come in. It's all legal.
Now it is, yeah.
Yeah, well, times are changing. Marijuana was illegal. They put people in jail, right?
Right.
Now they're telling you it's a health drug, and they sell it recreationally.
Yeah.
Times have changed.
Times
I was
change.
ahead of my time, Bob.
You were ahead of your time. Imagine if you were around today. You must have thought of that.
Nah, because you
the
know what?
kind of money you would have made today.
Yeah, but you know what? You can't be greedy in life. You got to appreciate the cards and the hand you're dealt.
Right.
I'm fortunate. I've been married for 51 years, going on 51 years. I got 4 beautiful daughters. I got 7 beautiful grandchildren.
Yep.
I'm a lucky guy. Money
Sure.
can't buy that.
You're right about that.
All
yeah.
the money in the world can't buy that.
You're right about that.
You get Michael Jackson, you get Elvis Presley, you get all these famous guys, Prince, and they got all the money in the world and all the fame, and guess what?
They're dead.
They're dead. So I'm very happy where I am. That's how I look at it.
Good point.
Keep it simple.
So you have 4 daughters?
Yeah.
And you said what the oldest is 50?
Yep.
How old's the youngest?
40.
Wow.
Yeah, four daughters. And my youngest just got married this past summer. And so they're all married. And I'm very lucky.
Do they all live around here?
Yeah.
Wow, you're really lucky.
That's what I'm saying. I get to see them all the time. And
Wow.
yeah, they're beautiful. I'm very fortunate.
Do they have any boys to play basketball for you?
No, but
well, girls can play basketball.
and my little
too.
granddaughter's starting to play a little bit. But I do coach a little 12-year-old girl who's really doing good. She scored 14 points the other day. I'm teaching her the proper footwork. She loves to play. See, that's the key. You get somebody who loves to play,
Right.
and you show them the right things to do, and they practice, and they'll just get better on their own. I can't make them better, but I can show them the right way.
Oh, they
to
gotta
do
have it.
the fundamentals.
Yeah, they gotta have it.
You got to have the fundamentals.
Right.
I know a little bit about basketball.
Right.
Just a little.
A little?
Just a little.
Just a little, huh?
And I hope my Friars win tonight.
Well, so who's going to play center for them? Or power
Oduro.
forward? Who?
They're gonna. The kid Oduro plays. Josh Oduro plays center. They're gonna. I think they're gonna start this guy, Garaway Duel, who supposedly when he came to PC, the pros were looking at him as a one and done. He was that good.
Really?
Yeah. So hopefully he can fit in. They started Corey Floyd the last game, but I don't know who they're gonna start. I mean, Gavin used to say it's not who starts, it's who finishes, who's out there when it counts
Right.
in crunch time. But this will be a big game. And then this Saturday at the AMP, I'll be signing books, to the people in the crowd, and that'll be good. So I've been busy. I've been running all over the place.
Yeah.
But it's been great. The reception's been great. People really loved the old days and the human side of this book right here. The human side.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I'm dying when you read it. I want to hear your response.
Yeah. I'm just sorry that I didn't get to read it ahead of time.
Well, you got to read it now. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. I bet you can't put it down after you read it.
Because if I had read this ahead of time, I'd have more questions to ask you.
That's all right. I'll personally autograph that to you.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, because there's stories in there that you're going to say, I didn't even know it happened.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, that was when I was a sophomore at Providence. There's all kinds of pictures, and it was fun doing because it brought back the great memories and the great stories. We played against the Russians, that series where in Madison Square Garden when I was dribbling the ball, and the Russian coach said if we had him, we'd never lose a game.
Really?
And yeah, I was doing the Globetrotter stuff, and I threw it, and guess who grabbed it and scored? Marvin dunked it. Duncan was in then. He dunked that.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe they brought it back then. Because I remember he dunked it on TV.
Now, were you playing the Russians? Was that an exhibition game?
No, Bob Cousy was the coach. The Russia had just beat the USA in the Olympics.
Right.
And it was rigged because USA won, but they called it back, and Russia scored with like 1 second left. So there was that bitterness. Russia comes to the USA, Bob Cousy becomes the coach, and we play a 6-game series. We started practice in LA, and then we went to San Diego, Albuquerque, Baltimore, Indianapolis, and the second to last game was in Madison Square Garden. And that was the game where I put the dribbling show on, and I had 27 points. Marvin had like 25 points, and we beat the Russians. So that was a big game for PC. Coach Gavitt was it was special.
And by the way, who was the coach of the Olympics that year?
I think it was Hank Iber, an older gentleman that, was the coach. He was, I think.
Oh, he must have been shocked that you guys beat the Russians.
Yeah, well, it was over. He was still mad. They were mad because they stole the game from him.
Right, yeah. Well, that was almost like the hockey when the Americans beat them.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And that wasn't that far after you guys.
Right.
Well, that was in the 80s, right? Wasn't that in the 80s?
Why do you read the book?
Yeah.
I'm dying for you to read this book.
I'm dying to read the book. All right, give me one more story. I gotta need a couple stories from you because I can't know the stories. I haven't read the book yet.
I'm giving you all the good stories.
Oh, this is your team when what? When was that?
That was when I was in high school. I played for a team in Connecticut. I'll give you a story. I'll give you a funny story. Well, here's a good story. This book is dedicated to Father Morris. Father Morris was the champion of social justice at PC. He started the Martin Luther King Scholarship Program.
Oh, no kidding.
So it's the first time they brought in African-American kids. And he was really special. He did so much for the African-American kids. They loved him. And Father Morris, a true champion of social justice at Providence College. And I got stories of a lot of the kids who were the Martin Luther King scholars who talked about Father Morris and how much he meant to him. And that's why I dedicated the book to Father Morris.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, we got, no, I ain't got that. No, I ain't got that. There you go.
Yeah.
I remember him, you know.
He was a great guy.
It's a long time ago, but man, I still remember all the names you're telling me.
Yeah, well, they were big names in Providence College sports.
And like you said, everybody watched Providence College back in the day.
And everybody watches them now. I mean, they're sold out every single game.
Right, yeah.
And
Yeah, I know, but back then you didn't have 300 channels on TV.
no, I agree. Back then it was special. I mean, we used to bring the crowd to their feet with those behind the back, between the leg plays, or look that way and throw that way. You know, my wife used to always say the thing she liked is you never knew what was going to happen. It was like spontaneous.
Right.
Now with that three-point play, you know what's going to happen. Everybody comes up and sets up and shoots three-point shots.
Right, and a lot of times they don't even pass the ball.
No, they just shoot it.
They come down, they dribble past half court, and they throw the ball up, right?
It's unbelievable. They just shoot threes. Like I think some pro teams shoot 60 or 70 three-point shots in a game. That's
Well,
most of the shots.
That's Golden State, right? Shoots a
Yeah,
lot
oh
of,
yeah, but all of them.
Really?
Celtics, Tatum and Brown, those guys
Right.
shoot threes all day long. The kid from Johnston, Missoula's the coach. You see that?
Exactly. He's a young guy too.
Because he was best friends with Tatum, and they knew Brad Stevens, the general manager, knew that the players got along with him. The key is to get the players to play hard for you in the pros.
Right.
Because they're making all that money.
Right.
You see how much money they gave Jaylen Brown?
No.
$350 million.
That's nuts. No.
Well, I'm just saying.
That whole thing about sports, I talk every once in a while I write about when I see an athlete or entertainer get the kind of money they get.
Yeah.
Like look at that baseball player that
Ohtani, the left-handed hitter, the pitcher.
The pitcher.
What did he get? $700 million?
$700 million.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you know what that means? My lawyer used to always tell me, if they're paying you it, that means they're making it.
Oh, absolutely.
So if somebody's making it, why shouldn't the players get it? Because they're the product.
I understand that.
But for the average person to see it, it makes no sense. They work all day long to make $150, $200 a day.
Right, right.
And you see these guys, they go through the motions, some of them, and they make $3 million a day.
Yeah, think about that.
I do. It's insane. I agree with you. But,
It doesn't make sense to me.
but a lot of things don't make sense. How do you figure like we were in wars and we're sending all the tax dollars of America over to the wars? That doesn't make sense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How can the country be in debt $34 trillion and all these politicians are saying they're doing such a tremendous job for us? That doesn't make sense. I mean, none of it makes sense. But that's what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. And you had the guy that runs the immigration down there saying yesterday.
The
he
border's
said, it's
controlled.
okay. Everything. It's
all under control.
All under control. 300,000 people come across the border
all under
in
control.
1 month.
I
And
know.
He said it's under control.
It's a crazy world we live in.
Yeah.
But that's why I respect the fact that you're here for, 38 years?
No, 32 years.
32 years. God bless you.
And you know the best. You know what the other thing. I have to mention this all the time.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't get paid. I do this for nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you do a great job.
I've done this for 32 years. Just think about it. Even if I got a lousy $10,000 a year, that'd be $320,000.
Yeah, well, like I told you earlier, the family, your family, good people, you couldn't put a price tag on that. So what you're doing here, you can't put a price tag on this because you're reaching so many people and so many people are happy. You're making so many people happy. In fact, I was so excited to come on your show
Really?
today because I know you're funny. You make me laugh. You make me laugh.
Well, I started this show. You know why I started this show in the first place? To promote Rhode Islanders. That was the purpose of the show.
Yeah.
Because to promote talent in Rhode Island, all kinds of talent.
That's
be
great.
it basketball talent, be it music talent, whatever. Oh, I used to give out. I don't know why I even stopped it. I used to pick the best athlete of the year, male and female athlete of the year.
Wow.
And I'd buy these huge trophies. I mean, they're really ostentatious. They were big, like this big.
Wow.
And one year I gave it to the kid from East Providence, Silver.
Yeah.
Ended up in the Super Bowl 3 years later.
Wow. You could pick an athlete. That's great stuff.
And the girl I gave it to was from Johnston, a basketball player.
Wow.
I'm embarrassed. I can't think of her name, but she ended up in the WBA.
Wow. That's great stuff.
Girl from Johnston, yeah.
You can't, well, see, when you do good things, you can't put a price on it.
And one of the people I had on the show is from one of the local stations. I told her I predicted her success, and it was ridiculous. I don't even know why I said it, but I said to her, I said, I don't understand why you were 5 years before they put you in front of the camera. I said, who's running that station down there?
Yeah.
I said, who's it? Ronnie Millsap and Ray Charles running that station, right? I told that girl the second time she was on the show, I said, I predict you're going to be filling in for Katie Kirk within the next 3 years.
Did she?
Yep.
You can pick them, Bob.
Yep.
I hope you pick that my book is going to be a movie. That's what I'm here for.
I think so.
Wait till you read it. I can't wait.
I think so. I think it's a winner. I really do.
Yeah.
And I haven't read it. Just showing you.
Can I tell you where people can get it?
Yeah, just don't say the price.
No.
Go ahead.
Google Providence College Bookstore, and they give you the option to get it personalized. You can order it right over, and they mail it the next day. I go and sign it right away, and you got a book.
Wow.
Thank you for having me.
That's cool. Well, we're not done, man. We got a few minutes. Don't we have a few minutes left?
You what?
What'd you say? What did he say?
Seven minutes?
7? You got 7 minutes, man. You got
Yeah, I got 7 hours. Go ahead.
You got to come up with a couple of stories for me. I'm giving you my stories.
Okay.
I had, over the years, I've had probably 50% of the bands in Rhode Island on this show, maybe more, and several dozen chefs over the years have been on the show.
Wow.
And a lot of athletes, too. But never Ernie DiGregorio. It took me 32 years, 31 and a half years to get Ernie DiGregorio on the show.
The best is yet to come. So one of the things they did when Coach Gavitt passed away is they named the street after him. Do you ever see that street?
Yes.
Dave Gavitt Way.
That's downtown near the Civic Center.
Yeah. And we all went to that event. And when his son got up to talk, he said, my father would be really proud of this today. But the best thing, he said, when they named it Dave Gavitt Way, it is appropriate because my father usually got his way when he was negotiating.
Dave Gavitt Way, yeah.
Yeah, so it was funny. He said his father's 3 most important things in life was family, faith, and friends. And
The 3 F's.
and one thing about Coach Gavitt, he was honest as the day is long. People always asked him, would he be a politician? And he said no, he wanted no part of being a politician. And he would always treat people with respect and dignity. In fact, every player on our team, he knew them inside and out.
Right.
And how to treat them and how to act. For instance, myself, if somebody yells at me, I get really defensive in a shell, and I won't play. You know what I mean? I just shut off.
Right.
And
So that's why he let you play.
yeah,
That's why he let you and Marvin Bonds do your thing, right?
but we had to be good enough.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh,
Or else-
that's obvious. Right?
Yeah, well, you had to be. I mean, if you let somebody play who can't play, you're going down the drain quick. But he had a special way how to treat people, and it carried over when he left Providence and started the Big East. I say in the book, and he told me that for $550, he started the Big East. And
$550.
yeah, that's what you needed, the initiation.
To set up the charter, right?
Yeah. And then it went from being,
It went huge.
well, I mean, he made all these coaches millions and millions of dollars. He made all these schools and universities millions and millions of dollars. And then he left to be the general manager of the Boston Celtics to take over for Red Auerbach, who resigned. And so he went there, and Mike Tranghese, who was our sports information director, he became the Big East commissioner.
Right.
So those guys really were good people who treated people right. And I think that's how Coach went and right up the ladder.
Yeah.
You know, my lawyer used to tell me there was very few people he knew that could sit with a major network and negotiate a contract without being a lawyer. And Coach Gabbett was one of those
He was
guys.
not a lawyer, right?
Yeah, he wasn't a lawyer. So he was brilliant. And I used to sit in his office, I remember, and it's in the book, just him and I, and he would go off talking, and there'd be papers right in front of me. And he always ended the last paragraph of every letter he wrote. Thank you for your consideration of me, Dave Gabbett. I'll never forget that.
Really?
Yeah.
Everything? Every time?
Everything I ever seen, you know, that's
Right.
how he always ended it. So he was special.
Well, he's special to put all those teams. He had to go to each one of those teams to try to get
Sell the
them-
idea.
Sell the idea of a Big East.
Right.
How many teams in the Big East? What,
10 or 12, yeah.
Yeah, there's at least 10.
Yeah, but then football took over, right? Football
Right.
became a powerhouse, and a lot of those teams left because football became the big breadwinner.
Right, and a lot of the schools had football and basketball, whereas
Right.
Providence College only had basketball.
Right, and so when you look at some of those teams, like Michigan, and you know those big schools,
What's the Pac-10? Isn't that the Pac-10?
yeah, they would turn around and they would sell out. Just that alone, the money they spend in one game would probably be more money than basketball makes the whole year and all season.
Oh God, some of those Michigan, 100,000 people. See
That's
that game.
unbelievable.
Is it something? And I've been to the Rose Bowl. It's 106,000, 106.
That's unbelievable.
106,000 people,
That's unbelievable.
and they fill it.
Yeah, but he was brilliant, and he's honest. So he was special, and Marvin was special in his own way, where he was a great player, but he was a really intelligent guy. People,
Marvin?
yeah, he was really smart. He made mistakes like we all do.
Right, sure.
But as far as being adept and understanding what's going on, he did a lot to help a lot of people, especially at the end. Help kids less fortunate get their licenses, and then he did so many speeches. But it's like everything in life. People make mistakes.
Right.
And
You fall down and you get up again.
Yeah, but some people go too far. They can't stop themselves.
Right.
And some of the most famous people in the world, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They lose to addiction.
Sad but true.
Yep.
Well, Ernie, I am so happy you got to come here.
Me too.
And folks, you gotta get the book. You gotta check it out. Go to the basketball, PC basketball. You can catch it at the basketball game too, right?
Yeah.
And you catch Ernie there too, right?
I'm there every day signing at the Providence College bookstore.
Really?
Yep. It's going great.
Cool.
Thank you, Bob.
Well, I'm going to read the book.
Oh, I can't wait
Today.
to read it. Thank you, my
Today.
friend. Yeah, let
Thank
me
you.
know right away.
I intend to.
Yeah, because I really value your opinion. You do great work for so many people.
Thank you. Ernie DiGregorio, Providence College superstar of the 70s, right?
Yep, 1973.
Wow. Well, folks, thank you for spending an hour with Bob. And we'll be back next week with another show. Until next time, see ya.